I was gonna meet a lot of people, travel internationally, have a place somewhere in a big city, and live my dream. And then maybe meet some Prince Charming and have kids when I'm 30 and buy a house when I'm 30, settle down, and that's what I thought I was gonna do.
Just being married to somebody who made me happy, and being able to take my kids on vacation, and just being around family and friends all the time, and stuff like that, just having a good time.
When I was young, I always dreamed of meeting that perfect guy, starting a family, having kids, living like a loving, caring family. It was just like the perfect little dream.
When I was growing up, I didn't have much of a stable home or family life, and my dreams were pretty basic for most people, which was just to have a stable life and be a good mom, have a reliable job, and go through life healthy, and try and do the exact opposite of what my family was. And so, unfortunately, it didn't always turn out that way, but I made the best possible choices I could for the moment.
One time, one of the worst times, was I was getting hit with a belt. It's like a black velvety belt. And so every time you see a black velvety belt, it just reminds me of that time. And I was hit so bad on my left upper thigh, it left a scar. So bruise is actually scar, and it stayed yellow for about a year. And it was about a good 6-inch by 2-inch width strap. And I'll never forget that.
And then I think a year went by and things took a change. I mean, he started not wanting me to be around my friends and my family. At one point, he had pushed me when I was pregnant and had choked me, and then, made up excuses. My son saw the violence. And, at that point, that was one of the things that made me want to leave and get out, because I didn't want my kids to see that violence.
I was always scared for my children. I was always having to watch out. I knew at the time it wasn't towards them, it was me, but at any point it could easily move on to them, and that was my biggest fear. And it was like living with that and worrying about that every day. It was just hard. It was just like always being scared, always scared. The day of the assault, before I came to New Hope, it was like I was already asleep. It was 3 in the morning, and he came home. We had a fight, and that's when it got really physical. That night I was actually afraid for my life. I was strangled and suffocated with a pillow. That day I actually thought my life could be over, and it was hard.
I came home from work one day and found him smothering my second child that I had with him, because he was mad that he had to take care of her and she had an ear infection. And I walked in right as I found her screaming under blankets, and she'd almost suffocated, and I made him leave, and he beat me almost half to death that first time. Towards the end it started getting really bad, and I got pregnant with his son, and he always wanted a son to carry on his name. And I actually had that baby 6 weeks early. Bled to death, my heart stopped, because he almost beat that baby out of me, because I wanted to leave again. He threw me out after my C-section. My baby was in the NICU, and threw my girls out Christmas Eve. And I tried to leave again, and he told me if he couldn't have me, the kids couldn't have me.
when I seen the job opening for New Hope, and I was already at a better spot in my life, a better place. I wanted to do it. I wanted to help other women, other victims of domestic violence to get out of that situation, to help them find a safe spot.
I realized for my family that I needed to get help and talk about it and heal and move on. So I kind of already knew about New Hope. I knew people that went through it, and I just decided to go to some classes and get an advocate and just be able to talk about everything that had happened. Also, taking the classes made me realize that there was more abuse than I realized. So being able to really get those, out and know and educate myself for me, for my kids. Yeah, I think my kids can, learn how to build healthy relationships, even with their friends and with their family, and what that looks like now that they see me and what I'm doing and how I've, came, and dealt with it and been able to move on and move past it and not be afraid anymore and help others.
I went to the police station, and that's when I told my story. I pressed charges, and they told me about New Hope and how New Hope can help me. And so I accepted it, and I accepted to move away to the shelter and get away from there. It was like a new me. It was a new me that was able to just feel comfortable, feel alive again, feel like I didn't have to look over my shoulder. I felt like a weight lifted off of my shoulders, actually. It was great here. It was just calm. It was exactly what I needed. When I got away, came here, it was just quiet. It was calm. It was like the perfect, it was like taking a break, like taking a vacation. The people here were going through the same thing I was, so like the support, giving them support, them supporting me. It was like exactly what I needed. I have no abuse, I have the love, the caring, the support, family, friends. Now I'm in college, and it's just, I feel wonderful now. It's like having my life back. It's perfect.
And with New Hope, I could start making me feel a little bit stronger and a little bit safer, so I could be that mom I wanted to be. And it started literally from being able to take a shower and have a safe place to sleep, and being able to look at myself in the mirror without being afraid. In the New Hope shelter, I heard my kids laugh for a minute, and I remember sitting there with my advocate one day, and I was actually sitting back watching my kids play for the first time in their lives without worrying that somebody was going to get hurt and I was going to get in trouble for it, or that our abuser was going to come after us. My daughter was allowed to have her birthday party, and so it wasn't like she missed a thing.
I didn't really think I was going to have my birthday this year, but New Hope helped me have my birthday.
And now, our future is we're together, our case is closing, we have a new baby brother, we have a new stepdad. We've been almost living in one place for a year for the first time in 10 years. And we still know that New Hope's there every day if we need to pick up the phone, just to have somebody to talk to, turn to. And our future looks like that happy household that's stable. And I have my kids, and I have myself and my self-esteem, and a future I'm not afraid of facing anymore.